If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. The first step is to establish that something is possible, then probability will occur. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. You want to have a future where you're expecting things to be better, not one where you're expecting things to be worse. Funded by the government just means funded by the people. Government, by the way, has no money. It only takes money from the people. Sometimes people forget that that's really what occurs. Most people can learn a lot more than they think they can. They sell themselves short without trying. With artificial intelligence we are summoning the demon. Constantly seek criticism. A well-thought-out critique of what you're doing is as valuable as gold. In order for us to have a future that's exciting and inspiring, it has to be one where we're a space-faring civilization. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. Life is too short for long-term grudges. I could either watch it happen or be a part of it. What I'm trying to do is to maximize the probability of the future being better. For me it was never about money, but solving problems for the future of humanity. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. I would like to die on Mars. Just not on impact. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. Many things are improbable, only a few are impossible. Engineering is the closest thing to magic that exists in the world. The extension of life beyond Earth is the most important thing we can do as a species. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. When you struggle with a problem, that's when you understand it. I read books and talk to people. I mean, that's kind of how one learns anything. There's lots of great books out there and lots of smart people. The biggest mistake, in general, I've made, is to put too much of a weighting on someone's talent and not enough on their personality. And I've made that mistake several times. You want to do things you're passionate about but also are useful to other people. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. If something's important enough, you should try. Even if you the probable outcome is failure. Any product that needs a manual to work is broken. You have to be pretty driven to make it happen. Otherwise, you will just make yourself miserable. When Henry Ford made cheap, reliable cars, people said, "Nah, what's wrong with a horse?" That was a huge bet he made, and it worked. My motivation for all my companies has been to be involved in something that I thought would have a significant impact on the world. I think you should always be seeking negative feedback. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. Great companies are built on great products. When I was in college, I wanted to be involved in things that would change the world. Optimism, pessimism, fuck that, we're going to make it happen. As God is my bloody witness, I'm hell-bent on making it work. Starting and growing a business is as much about the innovation, drive and determination of the people who do it as it is about the product they sell. You shouldn't do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better. For my part, I will never give up, and I mean never. My mentality is that of a samurai. I would rather commit seppuku than fail. Physics is a good framework for thinking. Boil things down to their fundamental truths and reason up from there. I think we should be very careful about artificial intelligence. If I had to guess at what our biggest existential threat is, it's probably that. So we need to be very careful. With artificial intelligence, we're summoning the demon. If you're trying to create a company, it's like baking a cake. You have to have all the ingredients in the right proportion. Talent is extremely important. It's like a sports team. The team that has the best individual player will often win. But then there's a multiplier from how those players work together and the strategy they employ. One bit of advice. It is important to view knowledge as sort of a semantic tree. Make sure you understand the fundamental principles, the trunk and big branches, before you get into the leaves/details. Or there is nothing for them to hang on to. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. Fear is a hard thing to deal with. I feel it quite strongly. If I think something is important enough, I'll make myself do it in spite of fear. But it can really sap the will. I hate fear. I wish I had it less. The tough thing is figuring out what questions to ask, but once you do that, the rest is really easy. You want to be extra rigorous about making the best possible thing you can. Find everything that's wrong with it and fix it. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket as long as you control What happens to that basket? The problem is that at a lot of big companies, process becomes a substitute for thinking. You're encouraged to behave like a little gear in a complex machine. Frankly, it allows you to keep people who aren't that smart, who aren't that creative.